Today I'm going to talk about strokes gained. Not about how it works, because I think we all have a pretty good idea of that by now, but more about how I believe it's being misused by the newcomers in the strokes gained analysis business. And for those who would like a little more about strokes gained, I recommend two things on shotbyshot.com under help and downloads, and that would be a 3-minute video on strokes gained explained. I have some good examples of the math and the positions, the value of the positions, and my talk to the MIT Sloan Sports Analytics Conference. And I warn you, it's 20 minutes long, but you might enjoy it. So what are the newcomers getting wrong when they use strokes gained? Let's take an example of a strokes gained analysis of a player's snapshot of a player's rounds. We'll assume it's a representative sample of his play. So you see the strokes gained numbers for each facet of the game: driving, approach, chip pitch, sand, and putting. So they're strokes lost or saved to what? In the case of most of the newcomers, it's the PGA Tour averages, which Mark Brody published in his book. In the case of shot by shot, which is what we're looking at here, it's strokes lost or saved to the scratch player. And if any of you read my article, that can be as many as 5 shots difference between the scratch player and the average of the PGA Tour. If you're a coach, what should you be working on with this player? What would be his #1 priority? Obviously, the approach shots is where he's losing most of his shots to par or to scratch. So maybe that would be it. But wait a minute, what's his handicap? Does that matter? I believe it does. It happens to be a 7, and let's see how that changes it. The way we do it at Shot by Shot is we compare the strokes gained by the player to that of the average of his target handicap group. In this case, it's the 3 to 5 handicap. So as we look across, the major differences are in the approach game, where he's losing on average 2.6 shots to what his target handicap would be doing, but 3.2 shots in the sand game. You see, if you only use the total strokes gained, the answer will always be one of the major facets: driving, approach shots, or putting. It's only when you compare it to the averages of a player's target handicap group that the short game, if it is the problem, would stand out. Here's the way we display it in shotbyshot.com. This is what I consider to be the answer. What I set out to do when I created this program was to give people answers about their strengths and weaknesses, and not just give them numbers and percentages that would make them try to figure it out for themselves. We say the #1 priority here is the sand game: improve accuracy and reduce errors. And then we go through, we don't provide the strokes gained here. We do in the individual analysis of the segments of the game. But we provide the relative handicaps to give the player a sense of where they are in each facet of the game. And here the driving is very good, a 1, approach shots okay, a 15, chipping and pitching a 10, and a 40 handicap for his sand game. And his putting is obviously very good at a +8. This then allows the player and his coach to drill down and get to the heart of why his sand game is so much different from his target. Here we have the target in orangish and the player on the right, and you can see that he has 4 sand shots around on average, which is a lot. The target is only 1.3. His major problem is that he's missing the green with 3 of those 4 shots and making an error with 2 of those 4 shots. The error being it's taking him 4 or more strokes to hole out after he's missed the green. So I hope that makes sense to you. If you have any questions, please email me at psanders@shotbyshot.com. And I hope if I can be of help to you and your players once we're out of this pandemic, please contact me.